What's up, Slayers? This is Jivits. Patch 4.4 is finally here, and with it, it brings a lot of changes and a look into the next patch. I'm going to talk about most of the main points, but for the full notes, make sure to check out the link in the description below. With the new patch, first of all, we'll say that there is a storm in Ramsgate in the distance and some other clues scattered around the islands when you go on your hunts. This is us getting ready for the coming storm next patch, and with it we'll be getting Dauntless's first content pack. Pretty hyped about the new weapon, new behemoth, and the new challenges. It's really good to see that they're making changes to the world and really kind of keeping with that whole ever game idea. I really like that they're giving us little clues without giving us everything. It really helps keep the game fresh. So around the island, you'll be able to see these lances stuck in the cliffs and the walls, and caches of boxes with ammo and 4 banners similar to the ones that when you land, but with an interesting logo. Not really sure what that logo is. I haven't seen it before. It looks like it could be a failed expedition or a hunt, and it could be, or a hint, at a new ranged weapon coming next patch. Most likely it's just an anchor from the ship from that failed expedition, but I also think it could be like a lance ranged weapon, and those cylinders around the side could be like a grenade or rocket shells on the side. I really can't wait to find out, but let me know what you think it is. Alright, so the combat changes in this patch. The biggest one is that elemental status effects are now based on the number of hits rather than damage. I haven't had a ton of time testing this, but it is more noticeable for chain blades and pike. I'm getting elemental effects to at least proc a couple of times during solo fights now, where before I generally didn't see it all that much with chain blades. Damage modifiers are now additive instead of multiplicative. So what that means is that Rage Hunter, Pacifier, Aether Hunter aren't going to be timesing each other, so they're not as much of a strong build anymore. So you're really going to see Rage Hunter still be really strong, and Overpower is also good if you can stagger a behemoth like the Bloodfire or the Moonreaver. If not, then I would say just do Rage Hunter and then whatever you kind of have. I've been playing around with Wild, Frenzy, and Rage builds for Sword. I might toss up a build video for the patch once I have something that I like, but until we get a cell vendor, it's still just making the best with what you have. Speaking of chain blades though, for their dash and vulnerability will now start 2 frames earlier to better match its animation. This should help a bit with the iframes of chain blade, but when using them it still should be treated as mostly like a dash out of something instead of an actual roll, iframe roll. It's still a very different playstyle compared to the other weapon rolls. Medical received a bit of a nerf and is no longer triggered on self-revives, as well as the amount of health gained with a revive. Whether or not it's useful still is up to you. I never really liked medic that much. It's great to have, a medic revive you, but I never saw much use investing in that and never got a medic cell above +1, so I never really gave it a shot. But for those interested, Medic 6 is now 60% health instead of 100%, so it's still good, it's just not really strong. If you're looking for something else to help out, try using Aetherborn. Aetherborn will give you extra vent healing and a chance to not use an Aether Vent charge on use. For behemoth balances, Rezakiri should be a little easier to hit now. Its tail hitbox was adjusted so it's easier to hit. And then also the legs and claws will be easier to break. So you're not really going to have to worry too much about those Rezakiri leg drops anymore. I've played him a couple of times since the patch came out, and it does definitely seem easier to break his legs. The Sherog's base health was increased, putting him in line with the other behemoths of the same difficulty. This behemoth still is pretty easy, so I wouldn't really worry too much about the base health. For any gear changes, they increased the number of upgrades for tier 4 gear like Hellion and Stormclaw. This should make the jump to Maelstrom easier for new players. It scales to +5 now instead of +4, so it should help new players when they're first entering the Maelstrom. And then Tragic Echo was fixed, so it no longer stupidly one-shots bosses, so that should help out. It was doing 300% before, now it's tuned back down to the 100% extra damage. And then extra changes. Jumping no longer costs stamina, so you can jump attack all you want or jump around as much as you'd like in the island before, after your hunt, or during your hunts. Flares now show a fiery red flag on the compass instead of the white one that was there before. I really liked the white actually, and I'm not a fan of this change. I don't like the bright red fiery flare symbol up top, but we'll see. Hopefully they'll change it again, or maybe they won't. It's not really a big deal. The crafting interface for gear and weapons has been changed. I like it a lot. They scaled down the weapons and the armor so you can see more, and then it's also sorted by strength of the weapon or the gear itself, and then the icons at the bottom are now colored by rarity, so they're more visible and easier to tell what you have and what you don't. The roofs have been opened up, so there's no more invisible walls blocking your ninja rooftop explorations. Make sure to give the dog a pet too, because now you can, and jump on some goats. I expect to see everybody exploring the rooftops of Ramsgate a little bit more now that they've opened it up a bit. One downside though is they did block off the docks, just so you know, so you can't actually make your way to the docks anymore, at least for now. And then the last bit of information is Shroud and Rezakiri will no longer be in the heroic patrols. The icons are still there, but you won't get them in patrols, so now you have to do the Dyadic Rift expeditions, or you have to do a pursuit itself. And last but not least, for all of you Q warriors out there who braved the weekend of open beta release, Phoenix Labs has blessed us with a Slayer of the Queen title that you can find. If you logged in over open beta weekend and dealt with the Qs, you now have a special title to show off your bravery. But that is all I have for you. That's the whole gist of the patch notes. There's a lot more that I didn't cover with some hammer like weapon balances and stuff like that. Just make sure to read the notes below. I just wanted to put out a quick video talking about the patch notes. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more Dauntless weapon guides, behemoth guides, and plenty of other helpful videos that I'll be coming out with in the future. I really enjoy Dauntless. I really enjoy making content for it, and I plan on continuing to make more content as they make changes and release new things. If you have any questions for me about Dauntlesses or any opinions, any cool builds you want to share, make sure to let me know. Leave a comment below. I really enjoy all the feedback on my videos, but that is all for today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.